What if I told you there's a woman so powerful that even Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, one of the world's most dominant leaders, is said to fear her? She's not in the public eye and is rarely mentioned in global headlines, yet her influence shapes Saudi Arabia's destiny. Who is she? And why does she hold such power? The answers will leave you speechless. If you've been following the news or watching global politics, you know Mohammed bin Salman, also known as MBS, is a name that grabs attention. MBS is the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, the man holding the real power in one of the world's richest nations. Some would say he's more than just a prince. He's the de facto king of Saudi Arabia, calling the shots and shaping the kingdom's future in ways that affect not just his country, but the entire Middle East and beyond. On one side, he's hailed as a visionary leader, someone with the guts to change a system that's been in place for decades. His Vision 2030 program is a prime example of that. It's his bold blueprint to modernize Saudi Arabia, reducing its dependency on oil and diversifying its economy. Under his leadership, we've seen huge changes that were once unthinkable in the deeply conservative kingdom. Women can now drive, cinemas have reopened after being banned for decades, and the country is hosting world-class events like Formula One races and global music festivals. To the outside world, these moves make him look like a reformer, a leader ready to drag Saudi Arabia into the 21st century. International headlines have praised him for his ambition and the speed at which he's implementing change. And let's not forget his global influence, whether it's through Saudi Arabia's massive oil reserves, investments in tech giants, or major geopolitical decisions. MBS is undeniably one of the most powerful men in the world. But here's where things get tricky. For all the praise, MBS also has a darker, more controversial side. Critics accuse him of being an authoritarian leader who rules with an iron fist. His opponents paint a picture of a man who won't tolerate dissent, cracking down hard on anyone who dares to question him, from detaining wealthy businessmen in the infamous Ritz-Carlton purge to the shocking murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. MBS has been at the center of global controversies. Human rights groups have repeatedly raised alarms about his methods, accusing him of silencing critics through fear and force. This duality is what makes MBS such a fascinating yet polarizing figure. He's a man of extremes, a reformer on the one hand, a ruthless leader on the other. He's admired by many for his bold vision and criticized by others for the lengths he'll go to maintain control. And for someone who appears to have absolute power, there's one person whose influence looms large over him. Despite his reputation as a man who fears no one, this individual seems to have a hold over him like no one else. Who could wield such influence over a man like MBS? Is it another political powerhouse, a rival within the royal family, or someone even closer to him? This brings us to the mysterious woman at the heart of the story. A figure who operates behind the scenes but plays a crucial role in shaping not just MBS's life, but the future of Saudi Arabia itself. Let's dive into her story. A lot of people think the mysterious woman who holds influence over MBS is his wife, Princess Sarah bint Mashur. After all, she's married to the Crown Prince. Surely she must have a strong influence, right? But Princess Sarah doesn't step into the public spotlight. She's incredibly private and keeps a low profile, especially by royal standards. You don't see her at the forefront of royal events or in the media. So, if it's not Princess Sarah, then who is it? Who could hold more power over MBS than his wife, especially when the whole world is watching his every move? The answer is even more surprising. Fahda bint Falah al-Hithlin, MBS's mother. Her influence over MBS is significant, especially behind the scenes. But even with these tensions, it's clear that Fahda remains one of the few people MBS truly listens to. MBS might be the face of Saudi Arabia's future, but it's his mother, Fahda, who holds sway over him like no one else. Fahda bint Falah al-Hithlain belongs to one of the most influential tribes in Saudi Arabia, the Al-Hithlain tribe. This tribe has been a major player in Saudi history, and Fada's connection to it goes far beyond just bloodline. Her marriage to King Salman, who's the current king of Saudi Arabia, wasn't just about love, it was a power move. This union helped strengthen the bond between the royal family and the tribal elite in Saudi Arabia, giving Fada a special place in the kingdom's intricate web of politics. But Fada's power isn't just about her title or wealth, although those things certainly help. What sets her apart is her deep understanding of Saudi Arabia's tribal traditions and royal politics. She's been around long enough to know the inner workings of the royal court and the high-stakes tribal dynamics. This woman knows how to navigate the complex relationships between the royal family and the tribes, and that knowledge gives her a unique edge. Her influence goes beyond just advising on royal matters. Fada's opinions, especially when it comes to family and tribal affairs, hold immense weight. If she speaks up, people listen, not only because of her status, but because of the trust and respect she commands. Her deep-rooted understanding of the kingdom's cultural and political landscape means she can offer insights that few others could. And in a country where family loyalty and tribal affiliations play such a huge role, Fada's voice resonates across Saudi Arabia. But what makes Fada even more intriguing is her discreet approach. While she could easily flaunt her power, she doesn't. Instead, she operates in the background, shaping the decisions of those around her. As we move forward, let's take a closer look at MBS's complex relationship with his mother and how their bond shapes his leadership style. This dynamic is one of the most fascinating parts of their story, as it reveals the more personal side of the Crown Prince and the power that lies within family connections. Now, let's get into the heart of the matter. MBS's complex relationship with his mother, Fada bint Fala al-Hithlain. It's not as simple as one might think, considering MBS is often portrayed as an all-powerful leader. On the outside, it seems like he's in complete control of Saudi Arabia, but when it comes to his mother, things get a bit more layered. Reports suggest that during MBS's rise to power, his father, King Salman, deliberately kept Fada at a distance. But why? Well, it's believed that King Salman feared Fada's influence on MBS. He understood the immense power his wife held, and the last thing he wanted was for that influence to interfere with MBS's ambitions. In the world of royal politics, it was about securing MBS's path to the throne. As much as MBS was being groomed to be the future king, Fada's influence could have shaken things up. This tension between MBS and his mother adds an extra layer of intrigue to their relationship. Even though Fada has always been a powerful figure in Saudi Arabia, there's this constant push and pull between her influence and MBS's desire to carve his path. But despite the attempts to distance her from the decision-making process, MBS reportedly still seeks his mother's approval. For MBS, whose every move is watched by the world, getting his mother's approval is a crucial part of his leadership journey. Fada's disapproval could be more damaging than anyone else's. Imagine being the most powerful man in the country, but still there's one person whose opinion matters more than anyone else's. That's the power Fada holds, even if it's not directly about controlling MBS. Her approval or lack thereof could directly influence his ability to maintain power. This dynamic creates an interesting power balance. On one hand, MBS holds the official title of Crown Prince and controls the future of Saudi Arabia. On the other, his mother's voice is still a force to be reckoned with. The story of Fada bint Fala al-Hithlain isn't just about one woman's influence. It's a window into the complexities of Saudi Arabia's royal family. It reminds us that even the most powerful leaders are shaped by those closest to them. But what do you think? Could Fada's influence ever truly challenge MBS's authority? Or is her role more symbolic? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this story intriguing, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with more untold stories from around the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.